Hi, everybody. I'm so excited to be on Facebook Live. This Facebook Live is instigated because we have a weekly call and for some reason, the phone is not working and it won't go through. So we're trying to notify everybody that we're doing the call on Facebook Live this time instead. It's a question and answer call that we do every single week where people can ask questions about their essential oils or certain issues that they're dealing with their health so that they can get those questions answered. And we get into some pretty tough stuff, which is really exciting. So I'm excited to be here, but I just have to say, first of all, to those of you who are on the call, because we usually have a good response to the call. Those of you who are, I love you guys. Good to see you out there. Whitney, Stephanie, good to see you. Cynthia, Christine, hi. Anyways, so we're going to do this call live like this instead of on the conference call like we do. For some reason, it wouldn't allow me to call in from Hong Kong to the U.S. And I even had the staff with the hotel helping me. I always know that there's going to be a problem internationally. And so I get on early to make sure I have enough time. The first couple of times, I didn't realize I needed to save so much time. But now I know. Now, why the hat? Well, because I wasn't planning to do a Facebook Live. And it's one of those, okay, I wasn't going to tell you this. I'll just tell you. It's a greasy hair day, okay? I don't even know. I'm not even going to show you. It's awful. I haven't even gotten ready for the day. But then I needed to do this call. And so I was thinking, thank heaven I brought a hat with me. So I'm going to show you guys a little bit where I am. I'm in Hong Kong. It's at the Marriott at the, what is that called, Roger? Not a bay.
Airport, harbor.
It's the harbor. It's the harbor at the airport on the other side of the hotel where they're doing a ton of construction. Look at that. So we have a cool view of the harbor, cool view of all the construction, but the Hong Kong convention is starting. And so, but you guys take precedence. So I'm going a little bit late today so we could do this call. But hopefully those of you who were on the call and got off because we couldn't get it started are finding this Facebook Live. But I'm really excited because I'd been promising people that I would talk about thyroid. And it's a tough topic because so many people have concerns about it or honestly have symptoms that go along with thyroid. So on that call, it's a private call, which you're welcome to get on, but you have to request the phone number through email because we're a little bit more open on that call. We get to say things that we're still compliant, but when it's a private call like that, we get to say more. So since I'm doing this Facebook Live, I'm going to, I need to be a little more careful about what I say and how I say it. So I'm going to try really hard to be compliant. So for those of you who are not familiar with how we need to be compliant, I'll just help you out so that you can it'll help you understand my terminology. So what we're doing is we are, we don't want to say the names of diagnosed illnesses, but of course it's okay for me to, thyroid, but I can't say these essential oils are good for anxiety, for example. But I can talk about anxious feelings because anxiety is a diagnosed illness. Anxious feelings are not. So you'll find that we'll talk a lot more about the symptoms today. And part of the issue I've been doing a lot of research on PCOS, polycystic ovarian syndrome. And the reason is because people are requesting information about that. And one thing that is crazy is how much the symptoms of thyroid and symptoms of PCOS are almost exactly the same. There are obviously some differences and you can work with your doctor to figure that out. So first, what I want to say is this is not any information that should replace what you're doing with your doctor. This is just for educational purposes only. Hopefully this will help you out. But on the call, I've been promising people that we'll talk about thyroid. People have been asking a lot of questions about it. So I'm excited about that. And let's just say, thank heaven for hats and thank heaven I had one with me. Okay. So first of all, what I want to talk about is, let me make sure I have my correct information. Just a minute. I have my document that I had all prepared for me to talk to you guys about thyroid. So, and we've done a ton of research on this because thyroid is affected by, like, your adrenals are part of it. There are so many pieces of the body that are involved. So let's talk about what are some of the symptoms, first of all. These are things that could be an indicator that you might need support with your thyroid, which the essential oils are awesome at doing. So I'm going to tell you exactly what essential oils for different issues that you're trying to support, okay? So anxious feelings is one. Brain fog. You might feel like you just don't even, you can't concentrate. You feel like you have a cloud in your head. You just feel kind of like random attention span, dark circles under your eyes. Some of you are going, yeah, that's because I'm 90 years old. Well, this could be a thing. Dizziness, depression, you can't sleep, or you have irregular sleep patterns and you can't figure out why. Unexplained weight gain. And sometimes it can be unexplained weight loss, but it's usually unexplained weight gain. Now, okay, if you've been pigging out for the last 3 weeks and you're gaining weight, that's not unexplained, ladies. Okay, men too. We all do it. But we're talking about unexplained. Food cravings that are not normal, where you're wanting to eat and wanting to eat. You have high energy at night, depending on if you have hypothyroid or hyperthyroid, because hypothyroid is when you have total lack of energy. You feel like you can't get out of bed. Now, this is if it's severe. And hyperthyroid is when you have excess energy. Maybe, you can't like slow down or calm down. You might be urinating a lot at night. These are like adrenal issues that can happen that go along with the thyroid. Let's see, what are some other things? Skin issues. You could be having skin issues. You could be having digestive issues. You see why people are this is a hot topic because it covers so many different symptoms and people are worried about, do I have thyroid issue? Do I need to take care of this? The beauty of the essential oils is that the research shows that they help your cells to repair themselves, which means that as you're using the essential oils, they will help support what you're trying to do. So for example, let's say you have a digestive issue. There's a blend called DigestZen, and I'll go through specific issues and I'll give you recipes for each one before we're done. But let's just kind of use this as an example for a second. Digestive issues. If you have digestive issues and you use DigestZen, which is a blend of all the oils that have been proven in research to be best at helping with digestive issues, then what happens is when you use it, people think, well, what do I use if I'm constipated? Well, what do I use if I have diarrhea? Those are two opposing situations, it seems like, but it's because the digestive issues are not, the cells in your digestive section of the body are not working properly. Something's going wrong. And what those oils do is they help with the cells to do their job properly. So if your cells are doing their job properly, it can help support this problem with, if you are constipated or if you have diarrhea, you see how it can help no matter what the problem is. So that goes for thyroid as well. So just realize if you have too much energy and you need to go to sleep at night, of course, there are certain ones that help you go to sleep and certain essential oils that help support being alert and active. So there are a few things you can change based on that, right? So poor circulation, that's another issue. We talked about skin, low sex drive. That can be an issue, low blood sugar. These are things that are also affected by the adrenals. Okay, so let's talk for just a minute about what you can do for some of those different things. So for adrenal support, these are the adrenals are closely connected with the thyroid. Usually if you have thyroid problems and it's been getting worse or whatever, then what will happen is you'll start to have adrenal problems, or you may already and you just don't know it. So for adrenal support, what the first recipe I want to give you is 2 drops of basil, 2 drops of lavender, and 2 drops of peppermint. And you can just rub it right over your adrenals twice a day. I would do that many drops in the morning and that many drops at night. Now, of course, you can go back and watch this again. I'm not going to repeat the recipes. And so if you want to write them down and you're in a place you can write them down, start writing. But the second one that I want to give you for the second recipe for adrenal support is 2 drops of each: cedarwood, geranium, peppermint, and vetiver. Okay? Those are going to be amazing support for your adrenals, and you can just apply topically again over your adrenals. Fatigue, if you have fatigue, and that can be connected with adrenals or a lot of other things, of course, 2 drops of each: rosemary, clove. Remember, clove is a hot oil, so if it's sensitive on your skin, just rub it on the bottoms of your feet, or add coconut oil or a carrier oil. Now, for those of you who are new to essential oils, a carrier oil is an essential oil that helps soothe the application of the essential oils, or it helps, people say it helps dilute the essential oil, but it doesn't actually dilute it because the potency of the essential oil remains the same, but what happens is it helps it feel like it's being diluted, so that's good. So So rosemary, clove, and basil. And you can apply those topically over the adrenals as well. All right. For digestive issues, you're going to notice abdominal pain, bleeding, bloating, heartburn, weight gain or weight loss, all these kinds of things that have to deal with problems in your digestive system. So let me tell you some support you can give there. For digestive issues, this is a combo that is awesome that I'll give a lot of people. 2 drops of Digestin, 2 drops of peppermint. Even though peppermint's in Digestin, sometimes you add that oil, and it adds a little extra oomph. So many of you have heard me say that before. So 2 drops of Digestin and peppermint, and 1 drop each of ginger and grapefruit. So try those out. You are going to love it, okay? If you have constipation, Digestin, there you go. Remember, Digestin every time. Digestin, ginger, peppermint, and Roman chamomile. Add Roman chamomile to that. That's awesome. And let's see. For things like if you're dealing with real severe digestive issues, some of the things that cause digestive issues can be Crohn's disease, ulcerative colitis, endometriosis, those kinds of things. What I want you to do to help support what you're trying to do with your doctors with that, here are a couple of recipes I can give you. To help support Crohn's, what you want to do is 2 drops of peppermint, 2 drops of Digestin, and 2 drops of basil. Now you'll notice you start hearing some of these oils a little bit over and over again, okay? For endometriosis, the support you can get with the essential oils, use these oils, and they'll be amazing. 1 drop of each. Rosemary, lavender, geranium, frankincense, cypress, clary sage. And remember, you can watch this video again if you need to be reminded. Now, remember, a normal dose is 2 to 3 drops. So notice how I'm having you use 1 to 2 drops in these recipes, and I'm having you do it twice a day. Now, if you feel like you need to add a 3rd time in the day, that's great. Add the 3rd time, and that's fine. Okay, for hormones. Hormones are very closely affecting our thyroid, as we know, and these are some of the issues you'll see if you have hormone imbalance. And I've been doing a lot of trainings on hormones and women's issues and men's hormone issues because of all the things I learned from my breast cancer. I can't believe how much I was learning about that and wanted to learn more about it. And so started figuring out what essential oils are very supportive of the issues I was dealing with. So these are the things you'll notice if you have hormone imbalance. Depression, you might have low libido, low sex drive, PMS issues, irregular periods, fatigue, fibrosis, weight gain, and insomnia, sleep issues again. Okay, tons of stuff. You might have discomfort in your vaginal area, that kind of thing. Now for men, same thing. You could have hot flashes, you could have fatigue, you could have pain, honestly, in your abdominal area. Even with this, you might start seeing some mood swings. That's a big issue with this. So these are some really awesome recipes, and some of these, in fact, a lot of these recipes are ones that I got submitted as well. Some of them are my favorites, some of them are ones that got submitted, and this is one that got submitted, and it was one of my favorites because of the title. It's called the hot mess recipe. So when you feel like a hot mess, then do 2 drops of peppermint and 2 drops of citrus. And that one, you can take those drops and rub it on the back of your neck, rub that in. Now, just a little bit of information about the essential oils that might be helpful. They're finding that the amazing support that we see with essential oils that are high quality, like doTERRA's oils, what happens is, even with the amazing support we see, we're only getting about 10% of the benefit of the oils if we just rub it in real quick. So that's amazing. But if you rub it in until it is no longer wet on your skin, so it's absorbed, like just rub it in a little bit longer, it might be a minute or so, what happens is we get 80% of the benefit. So that's a huge deal. So sometimes, honestly, I'm in such a hurry, I don't have time. I rub it in, I'm lucky I'm even getting the oils on my body, okay? And then I'm running out the door. But whenever I have time or whenever I can, I rub it in longer so that I get a little bit more benefit. Then that's awesome. So the Calm and Crazy, so the hot mess recipe I told you, Calm and Crazy, 4 drops of each. Frankincense, Serenity, Lavender, and Balance. This one's called Calm and Crazy. The other one that I love that got submitted was Monster Juice, and they are right on. This is when you are turning into a monster. 15 drops of Citrus Bliss and 15 drops of Balance. Now realize, I'm not saying you need to put those 15 drops on all at once. This is if you're going to put it in a bottle, like blend it in a bottle or a roll-on. So you can just take 2 drops of each of those oils. And again, I like behind the neck. I like behind the ears. You can also put it right over your heart. That's a great spot to do it. And sometimes that's a great spot to do it when you don't want to take your shoes off and put them on the bottoms of your feet. And the beauty of that is the Citrus Bliss and Balance blend smells really awesome. Honestly, let's be real, you guys. Some of the oils stink, okay? And I don't always want to smell like the stinky oil lady. Okay, I never want to smell like the stinky oil lady. So what I usually do is I will put the oils on in the morning, first thing, so that by the time I leave for the day, I don't smell like the oils. Now, another trick that I'll do is I will take them internally so that I don't, if I'm going to be taking them when I'm out and about, I don't want to smell funny. And what's the other thing I do? Oh, whisper. Whisper is awesome. So what I'll do is I'll use whatever oils I need to use. Let's say I apply them to my wrists or whatever, and then I'll put whisper on last. Or I'll put the really yummy smelling oils on last so that I smell better like that. And the other thing I'll do is I love perfume and I'm still going to keep using perfume. I know it's not great for my body. And before I had breast cancer, I totally would just apply it to my wrists like normal. Then I started learning about the chemicals and how much they affect your hormones and the balance. So I'm like, okay, and you have to know something about me. I am not one that goes, okay, well, I'm not allowed or I can't do that. I'm not going to. And little by little, my lifestyle's changing. I'm getting healthy and healthier about the way I do things, which is a good thing. But after I had breast cancer, I wasn't willing to put perfume on my body anymore. So now what I do is I spray it on my clothes. I'll spray it on my clothes or my underwear, and then when I put them on and put the clothes on, then I can smell awesome. But I also spray it on the outside so that it's not going to be touching my skin. So this is my justification because I still want to use. I still want to smell good. I still love some of my favorite perfumes, okay? Now, this is another one that won a prize because it's called SIDSY, the SIDSY recipe, and that stands for So I Don't Slap You. So this is the So I Don't Slap You recipe, and it is 15 drops of Balance, 15 drops of Serenity, and 15 drops of Citrus Bliss. Now realize the only difference between the Monster Juice and the So I Don't Slap You, the Monster Juice is Citrus Bliss and Balance, and the So I Don't Slap You is adding Serenity. Okay, so yeah, that was one of my favorites. We actually were going to give one prize away when people were submitting the recipes because we wanted help creating a recipe book, but there were so many awesome submissions that we ended up giving more prizes. But okay, hormones. If your hormones are wacky and you just need help with that, I am telling you, Clary Calm. Clary Calm is a blend of all the oils that are to help support balanced hormones. And I am telling you, I have fallen in love with that oil. The more research I have done on balancing hormones and the more research I have done on the oils in that blend, phenomenal. I am telling you, I don't care if you're male or female because we both need balanced hormones. If you're a male and you have temper tantrums or you have mood issues or fatigue or whatever, I am telling you, this oil will benefit you. It is awesome. And I would apply to your wrists, both wrists every day. It's a roller bottle, so you want to make sure you're getting enough. And it is so supportive of balanced hormones. You don't want to go a day and a night without it. You know how some of us have our specific oils that we won't live without? The ones that you should be putting on every morning are frankincense, Balance, and On Guard to help protect you, On Guards for immunity. The frankincense and the Balance help support other systems of the body. And I will tell you, I have added Clary Calm. I used to just use Clary Calm if I was having issues during my cycle or, whatever, having attitude problems or whatever. Now it's something that I'm not perfect at it. I try to use every day. The oils that I use every day, except when I forget or whatever, are those 4 oils. So absolutely recommend. Now, also you can use Clary Calm and apply it to your abdomen, even you men, because even though we all have different parts, or at least men and women have different parts, but still a lot of what's happening to balance your hormones and create hormones and send messages through hormones and all of that stuff is happening down in your abdomen. So that's a great place to roll the roll-on bottle as well. And the good thing is that one does not stink. It may not be the smell you want to smell like, so you still might want to put Whisper on top. And by the way, you men, Whisper was made for women as a perfume. But let me tell you what happened. We were at an expo. We were doing an expo and husbands and wives were coming together, and we were telling the women it was we were saying, calling it a cologne, because that's just the word that was coming out of our mouths. So and we were talking with the women, and in general the women were very talkative with us, and the men were standing by the side just kind of waiting for their wives or looking at the stuff. They started hearing us call it cologne. So there was a group of men there who took the whisper and started putting it on themselves, thinking that it was for guys or whatever. And then when we figured it out, we were all kind of laughing and joking and whatever. And and we started smelling it. I am telling you, the whisper smells better on the men than it smells on the girls. It does. It has this musky smell on men. I mean, it kind of does on women, but totally manly on a guy. So then we started joking in doTERRA that we needed to make another one that was exact same recipe, but call it chainsaw, so that the men would feel like they could wear it too. But I'm telling you, men, you guys get whisper and try it, because women it'll be like, ooh, I love that smell. They'll like it. Okay. I'll give you a recipe now for hormone balance. 10 drops of the following oils, and then there are 5 drops of a couple of oils. 10 drops each of clary sage, balance, serenity, and cedarwood. And then 5 drops each of wild orange and peace. Now, for those of you who are coming in late, realize that when I'm saying do 2 drops of each, that means for each application, when you apply it in the morning and the evening, put on 2 drops of each, or 1 drop of each, or whatever I've given you the recipe for. But if I'm saying 10 drops, 10 drops, 10 drops of all these oils, that means you're making a blend in a roller bottle, and you can use it that way. But that also means you can take all those oils and just put 1 or 2 drops of each of those oils on your wrist or on your abdomen and use it that way. You don't have to make a blend, you can. Okay, and just for basic hormone support is, guess what? Clary Calm and Whisper. So the Whisper isn't just for smelling good, it actually helps with all these other things as well. Now, for menopausal issues, which is anything, and by the way, these will be oils, anything that works for menopause, supports menopause, will also support all the other issues that we deal with our monthly cycle. Whether we have irregular periods, whether we have hot flashes, whether we have sweats, whether we have pain in our abdomen, all those kinds of things. Okay, so I'm going to give you a couple of blends that are awesome for this. Honestly, the number one oil that I could say is the recipe for all of those is Clary Calm. I'm telling you, you guys use it every morning, use it every night. But for hot flashes and night sweats, this is a great one. 5 drops of clary sage, actually just do equal drops of each of these. Clary sage, cypress, peppermint, Roman chamomile, thyme, and citrus bliss. Awesome combo. For mood, a lot of times when we're dealing with thyroid, we'll have mood swings, we'll have the fatigue ends up dealing with our mood as well. Sometimes we can get cranky or frustrated or whatever. And sometimes it might be that you're too hyper. If you have hyperthyroid, you could be kind of out of control attitude sometimes, whether it's positive or negative. So here are some mood issues. For general mood swings, this is what you want to do. 2 drops each of balance, elevation, serenity, and vetiver. That is my favorite. That's my recipe that I give to so many people. Balance, elevation, serenity are so supportive. You won't believe how much you love those. Now, I add vetiver if you have feelings of anxiousness. So, and a lot of times when you're dealing with a mood issue, you do have anxious feelings, because you're stressed out that you're depressed, you're stressed out that you're, being too aggressive at work, you're stressed, whatever. It ends up adding that piece to the puzzle. So, and by the way, well, I'll get to sleep in a minute. For a mood lifter, wild orange is a great one. You can add that to any recipe you're doing. Do wild orange, lemon, lime, and elevation. Okay, those are amazing, equal drops of each. For a wake me up, take peppermint and citrus bliss or wild orange, rub them on the base of your neck. And I want you to do an experiment. Try this. It is unbelievable. I'll do this in my classes sometimes. Take a drop of peppermint and a drop of wild orange and drop it in your hand. Rub your hands together and breathe it in. Sometimes we do that with peppermint, but it is unbelievable. Try it by adding citrus bliss to the peppermint. You will not believe how it stimulates it's almost like it's so stimulating that it's not like it's too much, but it's like it's almost like you can feel the wheels turning in your head. It's crazy. Try it. It's amazing. So just keep breathing that in and you're going to get the awesome benefit that way. So one it's called Peace Out is 3 drops of peace. There's an essential oil blend called Peace, and it's awesome. And by the way, if you have mood issues, I would absolutely look at the kit that is all, what's it called? Oh, you guys, somebody post it. You guys know what it's called. My mind just went blank. The kit that has peace, forgive, um, calm, or whatever it's called. Somebody post it. Oh, I love this. She's saying, I like using geranium deep blue for the monthly cramps. Good. Yeah, I love it. Oh, deep blue. Thank you. That's a great one to add. Um, Make sure you look at the comments on here, you guys. You guys are awesome. People are giving their comments and saying specific recipes they use. Oh, the emotional aromatherapy. Yeah, that was a tough one. For some reason, I couldn't remember. So, emotional aromatherapy kit. It comes with all the different oils. And okay, let's just say the oil names are beautiful, forgive and peace. But I just have to say that and I love it. I'm supportive of it. But at first, I was like, really, peace? Oh, this is essential oil for peace. I'm sorry, but I was just a little weird about it. Even though those are nice names, but it was almost like trying to share a tender moment in the name of an oil. But I'm telling you, I do love it because it tells you exactly what to use it for. It's awesome. And I will share this kind of really neat story that I heard because I tend to, I get tender with people. You guys, those of you who know me, you know, I get in the moment and I love working with people, helping people. We cry together, we laugh together. I love that. That's part of what I love about the essential oils. But I also like, I don't know, sometimes I like to be careful that we're not too almost trying to, what's the word? You guys know what I'm talking about, where you're almost trying to pretend like you're so tender and loving and it almost is a little bit fake. I don't like it to be like that. So I may end up being a little too on the opposite side of the scale just because I don't want it to be like that. So I need to probably work on that. But um, I I love what the essential oils do, and I love the moments it creates with people. But we were doing a conference call, and we had a doctor on as a guest speaker. She was amazing, and she uses doTERRA essential oils, and she said they're the best quality that she can find. She loves it. But she said something that surprised her. They bought the rose lotion because rose is so expensive and you can't even get it with doTERRA because you have to earn it. Every once in a while they make it available because in order for them to get enough for people to buy, it would sell out so quickly. So they kind of keep it a little bit um, where you have to earn it. And it takes so many rose petals to create a small bottle of rose oil that at the quality, most rose oils, if you find it from different companies, they're about $100 to $150. Very expensive for a small bottle. For doTERRA, this gives you an idea of the quality of doTERRA. In order for doTERRA to sell a bottle of rose oil at the quality doTERRA requires, it would be over $300 a bottle. So if you ever have the opportunity to earn it, yes, fake, you guys, thank you. You're helping me. I don't want to be fake. I don't ever want to be fake. And so, but as this doctor was sharing, it's almost like, I guess I just don't want to act like we're ready to cry every 5 seconds. Not that that's a bad thing, but you know what I mean. We want it to be real. We want it to be sincere. We want it to be sincere. I said insincere. We want it to be sincere. But this story that she told about a really close friend of hers who had been in a car accident. I believe he was driving, and his girlfriend died in the accident. And that was years ago. And he has never been able to forgive himself. And he has had a lot of issues because he can't forgive himself, and it has changed his life, as you can imagine. And he started using the rose lotion just as a lotion. And he had heard that rose was supposed to be good for helping you let go of feelings or that kind of thing. And I'll tell you, you guys, at the beginning, when I first started learning about oils and mood, I really thought it was crazy and weird. And I thought, oh, brother, it doesn't just, help you support issues with depression or post-traumatic stress disorder, all this weird, the stuff. Those are serious medical issues, and this is not something that you just slap an oil on. Of course, I've learned a lot more about oils, but I'll tell you what I learned. Because I'm a researcher, there are essential oils that specifically affect the limbic system of the brain more so than other oils and certain compounds that affect it. And guess what? Those are the compounds that are in the medications we use for those ailments. And so it really is a very serious and a very real thing. But she said he started using rose oil and couldn't get regular rose oil from doTERRA, so he used the rose lotion, which, by the way, all of the proceeds from Rose Lotion go to Healing Hands. Not one dime is used for administrative, which is huge. So he was rubbing that over his heart, and it allowed him to, it supported him in letting it go. It changed his life. He had been struggling with it for years, and it totally helped. And think about this. If you think, and because it's for those of you who are new to oils or kind of feel sometimes like I do, where I'm very skeptical, it's hard to accept that. But when you think of it scientifically, think of it like this. Your cells are reacting to chemicals and hormones and all kinds of messages all the time. Those compounds are helping your cells. They're basically another thing for your cell to react to. So just like when you take an antibiotic, and let's say that, okay, those of you who have had, I'm sorry, you guys, this is the best example I can think of right now because this is a huge deal. But if you get a yeast infection and you start taking the medication, I am telling you, you start noticing a difference right away, and you know that medication is having an interaction with your body. That's what the essential oils are like. They're amazing, okay? So for mood, I told you that one. For emotional trauma, I want you to add, okay, well, you can keep the ones I talked about, but you do Serenity, Balance, Lemon, and Sandalwood. But if you want to add elevation, you can do that. That's part of that other combo. All right, for concentration, peppermint's great, but I have a long combo that's a great recipe blend that you can make for that. Equal drops of basil, lemon, rosemary, vetiver, peppermint, lemongrass, and frankincense. And I'm going through these quickly so we can get through more, and because you guys can go and rewatch this if you want. So PMS. For PMS, basically for balancing support, you want 3 drops of lemon, 3 drops of clary sage, surprise, surprise, and 3 drops of geranium. And again, notice how many of these keep coming up again. Let me see. For your immune system, because a lot of times when your body's trying to deal with thyroid issues and your immune system is trying to help with whatever's happening to your body because your cells aren't working properly, then your immune system is lowered. And that's a really big deal. So I didn't know if I wanted to go into this because it's getting a little bit long, you guys, but I will tell you this. As I was doing research about cancer stuff, I just want you to know that what I found from medically approved sources, this is the Cancer Institutes of America, places like this they work closely with the medical field. This is what they are finding. They are saying that every adult gets cancer at least 6 times in their life. All of us get it at least 6 times. But the body is set up and the immune system knows how to get rid of it. So what all that is a mutated cell. But if your body handles it right, then it gets it out of the body. So for example, I'll give you a few examples. Number 1, let's say you have a mutated cell that, by the way, could turn into cancer eventually, or it could turn into diabetes eventually. It could turn into anything. That's what they're finding. The medical field says that 99% of all ailments start with the inflammation of a cell. So if that's the case, think about this. Your cell is inflamed, then it becomes mutated. Your immune system is one of the first things it will do is it will send messages to tell that cell to create apoptosis, which means to kill itself. So it'll say, hey, Kay, time for you to kill yourself off. And then the cell will kill itself off and it'll be flushed out of the system. Now, if that doesn't work and the messages, like it won't listen to the messages, then what will happen is the immune system will then send little soldiers to escort that cell out of the body and force it to leave. It has about 6 different mechanisms to try to take care of it. That's why you could get cancer starting in your body 6 times and it doesn't exhibit itself and it goes away. But what happens is if your immune system is overloaded and it can't do those jobs because you're eating too many foods with pesticides in them, you are breathing in pollution, you are not getting enough sleep, and so your body's trying to fight getting sick. Think about all the things we do. There are a lot of things we can eliminate if we exercise. I started making sure I wasn't willing to give up meat, but and that's meat is not a bad thing, but you want to eat it sparingly. That's the healthiest for your body. But I started making sure I was not eating meats that had hormones or antibiotics. I was being a lot more careful about what I did. So there are a lot of steps you can take, but for your immune system, the oils that support that are On Guard. On Guard number 1, I love it. It's awesome. But I'll give you a combo that is awesome. Frankincense, Balance, On Guard, Breathe, and Melaleuca. Those are awesome, and those are preventative. So, well, I don't know. Hopefully, I'm allowed to say that. I think I got a little bit off course there. I'm trying to be compliant. For skin and hair, the awesome oils for that are Purify, Melaleuca, Lavender, Helichrysum, and what's the other one? Those are the top oils for skin, and there's one called Immortelle that is amazing. Now remember, as you use those oils, they're going to seep into your body, and you're still going to get the benefit from having those oils. So even though you're trying to use it for skin, you're going to start noticing that the compounds in those oils are also helping support other areas that you're needing help with. Okay, let's see if there's anything else we have time to go over, because I just want to end. So very specifically, I'll just end with the recipes that are for thyroid support, all right? For Hashimoto's, which is more, it's in line with hypothyroidism, which means you have low energy and that kind of thing. And if you're seeing some of these symptoms and signs in your body, then this recipe will help support, okay? I want you to use 20 drops of each. Now, again, remember, this is equal drops, so you could just do 2 drops of each in the morning, 2 drops at night, but it's a little bit of a longer list, so if you make a blend, then it's easier. Frankincense, clove, which remember is a hot oil, myrrh, lemongrass, basil, and marjoram. You are going to love this combo. And I'll tell you what, this is a great one to use even if you just would like to help be preventative and be supportive of your body, even if you're not feeling like you're having an issue yet. This would be one. In fact, you know what? I keep thinking I'm going to do this. I am committing to you. I am going to make that blend. I'm going to add it to my daily regimen because I think it's really important. So for hyperthyroid, or what a lot of times is called Graves' disease, or people get Graves' disease if it gets really severe or whatever, 20 drops each of wintergreen, lemongrass, sandalwood, frankincense, and myrrh. So, and I'll add one last one. We talked about fatigue. I'll give you another recipe for fatigue just because it's such an issue with thyroid, even if whether you have hyper or hypo, because even if you have hyper, which means you have excess energy, then you still have crashes. Okay, so the fatigue one is 2 drops peppermint, 2 drops lemon, and 2 drops grapefruit. Okay, now, you guys, I know I went through that really fast. I probably didn't make this one super fun because I was busy trying to give you information. Just want you guys to know I love seeing the hearts. What is it, you guys? This is public forum, and I get little hearts coming up or smiley faces. It just makes me feel connected with you guys. I love it. So thank you so much, and hopefully this will help you guys. If you guys know of someone who has any of those kinds of symptoms, or, oh, I love it. Love the hearts, you guys. I love you back. So wish us luck at the Hong Kong convention. I'll be presenting tomorrow and Saturday. Is that true? Thursday. I'll be presenting Thursday and Friday. So I'm excited, and I'm a little nervous because I'm going to start with a little bit of my Chinese. I've been learning Chinese, so I'm going to start with Chinese. Maybe I'll get Roger to record it, and then I'll post it. I'll look so foolish, and they probably won't understand a thing I say, but it will at least make them laugh. Like I said, you guys are used to me making a fool out of myself. So I love you guys. Talk to you soon. Bye.